computer. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Are you helping with the homework? One participant at a time. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to go to TradingView. And just for the recording purposes, I'm going to state that today we're going to be talking about market structure and marking up some charts and doing homework based off of a free course that we have, which is called from an organization called Millionaires Trader Society. And this organization is hosted by our coach, Jess. Say yes to Jess. And we're going to be doing a series of classes based on this free course because it has great information for beginners that can take you from a beginner to very knowledgeable. And there are people who have actually made money from this free course. So today, our work is going to be based on identifying market structure and trends. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and play the homework video before we mark up our own charts. But I did take some notes from the video. So as you can see here, this is the creation of market structure. It starts as from an uptrend, it starts as a low, and then there's an impulse up that brings it to a high, and then creates a higher low than that first low. And then we get another impulse up, creating a higher high. And then we get that pullback retracement to a higher low. And typically that higher low comes back to the previous high. And then we move on to the next impulse up. And if it continues in that trend, then it will continue in that same direction and pattern. And then it's the same for downtrend. Starting at the high, then we get the low, lower high, lower low, and then lower high, which typically always comes back around the area of your last low, and then we get that lower low. So I did actually just take a few notes. So market structure in Forex is defined as the framework created by buying and selling a currency pair within a specific time frame and a defined time period. Okay. And another note that I wanted to make is that the ceiling becomes a floor. So that's what that means when that retest creates a structure, making the ceiling, the previous ceiling a floor, or vice versa. If it was a floor, it becomes a ceiling. So I'm going to go ahead and.
Hey team, what's going on? I'm going to assign you some homework. It was on the webinar. Here's basically what you're going to be. These are some notes that you'll want to remember. So for a sell, the previous low has to be broken and retested. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and identify market structure for me. Okay, you're going to go look at a chart. Don't use this one. Obviously, find another trade that's in a down trend that wasn't in the webinar. Find something else, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to identify market structure, which is swing highs and swing lows, to determine the trend. And you're also going to identify when the market becomes exhausted and the transition from a sell to a buy. So you're going to do this for sells and buys. So I'm going to give you an example of one. Again, you're not going to use the pairs that I used in the webinar or in this video. You're going to locate one on your own to show me that you can. So what I'm going to do to identify the lows here is I'm going to draw some arrows. So this is a high and this is a low. Okay, this whole move. This is a high and this is a low. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw an arrow around this low. Okay. I'm also going to do one around this high and this low, excuse me. All right. This is a low. And then this is a low. And this is a low. All right. So what's going on here is the market is in a downtrend due to it creating lower highs and lower lows. And you can see here where it kind of moved a little sideways, but then it broke out and retested. So what you're going to show me is on a sell, you're going to show me the swing lows. And I want you to identify where the retest occurred from the swing low. So you're going to take your eclipse, and if you want, you can put your drawing tool on, and you can see that this was a previous low, right here. So you have your low, and then this was the retest. If you want to do them in different colors, that's fine with me. You can see where another retest occurred. So if you want to use a different, like a box, a square for the low, and then the retest as circles, you can do that as well. Matter of fact, let's do that. I'm going to use the square to identify the low used to create this arrow. All right, and if you want, you can just make it like a color. And then the retest, I'm going to use ellipse. You can see where this right here was the low used, right? These were the lows used to create this market structure. This was a retest of those lows. Now you have, again, another low here, and there's a small retest, not as obvious, but this was the retest. You have your low here. Now look at this. The market did not come down and retest. This is where you're going to identify exhaustion. So you can see here where the market manipulated, came back up, and it started moving sideways, creating pretty much almost a triple, quadruple bottom. This is where you're going to identify the transition and change in the market. As you can see here, the market was unable to, it created one lower low right here, but it was unable to break and retest like these, giving us an indication that the sellers have lost their strength and now the buyers are taking control. So our confirmation is going to be this sideways movement here and the inability to break this low. It was unable to break this low, and you're going to identify that. You're going to sit here and you're going to type that in to show me that you can identify it. And you'll see that your confirmation was pretty much that break and retest of the trend line. Now, if I drag this over, you will see that when we were looking for hits as a ceiling, as we transition to an uptrend, we're now looking for these ceilings to become floors. So on the upside, you can see the break right here and the retest, okay? So I'm gonna show you a buy in a different video and after this, but those would be confirmations right here. So on the sell, you're gonna identify the lows that have to be broken and retested and show me where the retest occurred to that low. Then you're gonna identify exhaustion and how this trade showed you that it could be possibly changing direction. In this case, it was due to this low not being broken and retested or this low being broken and retested. It was unable to push down and it then broke our trend line and changed direction. So that's for a sell, okay? So I'm gonna quickly just screenshot this. I'm gonna show you a buy. That was bullish. Here we go. So, and again, I'm doing this in the 1 hour. It doesn't matter what time frame you're doing this on. But as we can see here, we're transitioning, just like I showed you, from a sell to a buy. So I'm just going to delete this real quick. And I'm going to type in my note here so you guys have it. And for buys, we are looking for the previous high to be broken and retested. Again, to confirm direction, and to confirm continuation and trend. So the number one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can draw a trend line. Okay, it's not going to be the prettiest, but I'm doing it. So what we're doing is we're looking for highs. Okay, now we can see we're at a low right here, right? The market made a little high right here. You can use your fractals to help you. So we draw an arrow. Okay, the market then created another swing high right here. Oops, excuse me. All right. And we have highs. Here's a high, the fractals you can use to help you. All right. And high. And then I'm going to do this high too. All right. So you can see that we are looking in this case for this high to be broken and retested. Now you can see where it came back and actually was a little bit of a fake out. It came back down to fake everybody out. Most people probably tried to wait for a trend line retest or market structure retest, which is this. So this was a fake out. And then you can see where it came back and just retested right on top, right? So this was your retest right here. Then now look at here. We have another high that we can identify. And you can see where it retested. Small retest, but it did retest. Okay. Now we have another high. And these are all just confirming the trend. We have a retest. So while we're sitting here breaking and retesting previous structure to confirm continuation, at what point do we realize this trend is no longer valid, or it's changing, or could be ranging? Here's a high. Now look at this. This high became a floor. 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 This high was unable to be broken and retested. So the market lost its momentum right here, the moment it was unable to create a higher high, as you can see right here. All right, it kind of created like a little bit of a double top and it started moving sideways. This would be an indication that the trade is losing its momentum and it could be shifting. And as you can see, if we drag this out, it was in like a consolidation period for quite some time. And now it's slowly trying to transition. Let me show you. Oops. You can see where we have basically a triple top. So the market was unable to do create higher highs and lows. Now at this time, what's happening is it's slowly creating lower highs and lower lows. All right. So at the moment, this trade doesn't look too pretty. However, you can see that the moment it stopped doing that, that was an indication that there could be a possible change in direction, or this could just be a manipulation and keep going up. But what we're looking for is these previous areas of structure to be broken and retested, to confirm a continuation down. All right, so these previous areas, these are what we call our pullback areas, and that's how I locate my pullback areas. So I want you to identify the swing high. I want you to identify the retest and a trend, and I want you to identify when the momentum stopped and why it stopped. Why was it unable to create a higher high? Show me where it was not able to create a higher high, and what gave you the indication of a possible change in direction. Here, unable to create higher high. Also, you can see where it retested, it broke and retested our trend line, and now it's just moving sideways. So the bullish momentum is a little dead at the moment. And by us understanding this, we know when to pull out of trades and when to possibly look for an entry for either a reversal or for another opportunity. Let me know if you have any questions. That is going to be your homework. Please make sure you're using your squares and your ellipses for the retest. And if you can do them in different colors, that'd be great. If not, no big deal.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark up two charts. I'm going to mark up, and then you can go ahead and mark up two charts that, so you can think about which ones you want to mark up. So I'm gonna do chevron. Here's my baby in the background. So I'm gonna do chevron on the 1 hour. So it's consolidating at the moment. It did just have a breakout a couple of days ago, November, or actually yesterday, November 1st. But before then, it was on a consolidation pattern. So I'm going to go back to the most recent uptrend and mark market structure. So as Coach just directed, I'll go ahead and start by drawing my trend line. And then I'm going to mark the swing highs. I am going to use the fractals.
How do you turn on the fractals?
I went to indicators and just typed in fractals. It looks a little different than hers. I put in the first one that came up was Williams fractals. So I just used that one. They're not right on her, right on the candlesticks and wicks like hers were. So I'll have to see why it's not doing that. But yeah, you see indicators and then fractals, right?
Yeah, I remember, man, one time she was doing a class on this and she was trying to find, she said, I don't think they have it anymore, the one that she,
Oh, okay.
so many.
A little bar. Okay, yeah, I think that's the closest it's gonna get. Careful now. Be careful. You have to sit to the side because mommy's doing her homework, okay? Just sit right here. No. Hey, hey. Stop it. It's nap time for her. Stop. Here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark up the swing highs with my arrow here. So the first one is and then I just I clone the previous arrow. The next one is here. Stop it, mommy. Stop. Mommy's doing her homework. No.
Uh-oh. I went to see.
So then I clone the next arrow. Dalen. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Then I go into the next swing high. Okay, this is the last one for this trend. I'm just gonna go ahead and hide the fractals because they're a little distracting. Okay, so now I take my box and I will square the high. So it's not perfect, but it looks like there was actually a tiny gap here.
Mhm.
But this pink candle would be considered the retest. All right, then I just clone. What did I just do? Clone my box. And I'm gonna take it up to this next high, which is where that wick is. And then retest right here, this gray candle. And there's actually two retests, so I'm gonna mark them both. Just gotta zoom in a little more so I can have more space. My next high is here. Retest this area here. Following the line. The next retest for this one actually happens to be the same candle as the high. You see that there? So this is my high, and then the
Mhm.
retest actually ends up being this candle, which is the high of
Mhm.
this wave.
Hi, Day Day.
Then I'm boxing my last high. And the retest. And then we come to an exhaustion. It actually is kind of like a big retest and continues to go up a little bit more, but I'm counting this as the end of that trend.
Mhm.
So box it up here. Really, and that is market exhaustion. Okay, so I did an uptrend on Chevron. The reason why I'm choosing Chevron is, and my next one is going to be gold, is because these are what I am personally trading. Uh, so now I'm going to go to XAU USD, and I'm going to do a downtrend on that. And I did see on a recent training that they said not to use any of them that say Owanda, because that I guess that one's always a bit off.
Oh,
So that's just for our own notes. So gold is definitely at an all-time high. Um, these are notes from I was actually back testing or
mhm.
beginning to back test. So those are just notes from there. It's been on a high, so it's kind of like it's been a little hard to find a downtrend. Let me actually go on the higher time frame. Maybe that'll be more helpful. So first thing I'm gonna do is identify trend, downtrend. And then if you want, I just learned actually. Hey, get from over there. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna identify swing lows. If you want to zoom in and out like that, in is down with two fingers, and
Yeah,
then
wait a minute.
out is up with two fingers if you're in your laptop. Okay.
You do it again? What was it?
Down. Oh, I have my down with two fingers zooms in, and then up with two fingers zooms out like that. So in this downtrend, this looks like it will be the first swing low to me.
How about your iPad or tablet?
Um, I think it's just your fingers like that. It's a little more easier. And then on the side where the numbers are, if you
Mhm.
just move them up and down like that, it also, I'll show you when
On
you
the
move.
laptop?
I believe it should do that on the tablet as well. So if you do that, it should it could either widen it or make it more narrow. Does it work on your tablet like that?
No, it's really zoomed out, and I've been trying to pinch it, and it's not moving. So I should have got
Oh,
on this so I can do it on my.
on your laptop. And then you can also reset chart view. Maybe that might, because sometimes it gets glitchy, and then when you reset it, it helps a bit.
You know where that is?
When you right click, in the list comes up here like that. and then reset chart view is the first one. So I think you should be able to, on your tablet, you should be able to just click with 2 fingers on anywhere on the chart, and then this drop down should come down.
Mhm.
Did it work?
No.
Oh no. Bless you. Yeah, I haven't done it on a tablet in a little while. I have to let you know that one. Oh, let me turn back on my fractals. Okay, so copy this, clone that. Then the next one would be here. I don't want to do them. Yeah, that's the retest. I don't like them too close together
Mhm.
or too many of them. So I do the most kind of significant looking ones. Let's go ahead and use this one. Okay, so we're gonna box up this low. Mark up retest here. No, really, this would be considered the low. We count the wick too. And this is the retest. And just for notation on the video, this is a part of our chart time. So with us marking up these swing highs, swing lows, identifying trends and market structure, it helps to train our eye so that over time, your eye can really just identify this. It can identify a trend and then ideal entry methods for when you do want to get in a trade. So when you know that you're in a trend, you know it's in a continuation cycle and it's going to continue to go down. So ideally, you would get in at the lows of the trend. So one of these candles here, because it retests, um, actually here, when it retests here, right here, like for an example, She's on my phone. So, this was the example here. It broke. This candle actually broke our structure right there and closed below. And then the next candle, it stayed below that structure. So that was a good indicator that we were in a continuation of a downtrend. And this would be an area that you would want to get into a trade. And then as you can see, continuing to go down. And then I've learned that it's also best to ride your trade down to the next level. So I don't have my levels marked up. This is just market structure. But if I did have my levels marked up, then I can see where the next level would be. And then I can ride that trade down to the next level. So we'll definitely be going further into that as we do these videos. But these are all my retests, my lows, swing lows, and my retests. And then we do come into exhaustion here, where it didn't create any more lower lows. And then they exhausted and it danced on this last market structure line here, exhausted, and then it started to go in the other direction. So, like she said.
And when they say ranging, is that the same thing as consolidation and exhaustion?
Yes. Market exhaustion. It's funny how they have all these different words for the same thing.
Yeah.
Could be confusing at first. Okay, so those are my two charts. And do you want to mark up one or two, Dad?
Yeah. Let me. I can't get on my tablet, so I can do it here.
Okay. Let me see. How do I? Oh, stop share. Are you still able to share? How do I come out of this?
Is host disabled participants?
Oh, that's what it says.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see. That's weird. Okay, I don't know how to um okay, let me see here. Enable waiting room. Shares allow all participants. Okay, it should be able to now. You should be able to do it. Say hi. Say hi, Day Day. You locked my phone. Are you able to record? I mean, not record. Are you able to share your screen now? Yep. Okay.
You can see my screen.
Yes. Why are you copying me? Why are you copying me? No. That's how you got stuck the last time. Come on. Get up, honey. I want you stuck. You're gonna need a bath after this.
I'll do this. See my top arrow?
What'd you say?
You see my top arrow?
Top arrow. The first one you drew?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, I see. It's four of them all together.
Yeah. Where's the retest on that?
Okay, it's gonna be that green one with the high wick, with the long wick. Even though the wicks are touching that arrow,
Hmm.
you click it and then it'll, yeah, there you go. Yeah, even though the wicks are touching that, um
Hmm.
technically that's still considered the retest. It's just a very small retest.
Okay.
And-
Then,
But you bring bring that eclipse down. You don't have it on the, yeah, have it on the actual candle. Yeah.
here.
Uh-huh. And then the next one is kind of like similar. Um, they're not big retests,
Yeah.
but it's still created it created another floor. So that's another thing that can help understand um when it create I mean another support, I should say. When
Mm.
it's another support, that's a sign of a retest as well. That one's gonna be a little lower. It's always gonna be on the line. So it's gonna be that big red bearish candle. That's the retest.
Right there.
A little more to the right. Yeah, yeah. So like whenever how it bounced and then it hit that line, that's considered the retest. But then another thing is too, like they were saying, it's not always gonna be exact.
Yeah. So this one,
Yeah, that one is also gonna be that
that
bearish.
one right there. You
Uh,
see my,
yeah, exactly. That looks like the last wave before exhaustion. Yeah, that looks good. Nice.
and of course, we have to label these, right? When we're,
I don't think
I
so.
mean, oh yeah, because they understand when we're,
Uh-huh.
that's extra time if you think about it.
Yeah.
Typing everyone,
Every single it's already enough time like having to clone them all or
yeah. And if you're gonna do multiple charts, then you just want to
just
bang
breeze through 'em.
bang them through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay. So, did you want to do another one or
That's good.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just wanted to also let me just share my screen one more time. So I was just gonna go over really quick to the course. So I'm actually done with it. I'm just in the webinar section. Um 85% complete, but there's a whole bunch of webinars that need to be, I don't know, have you seen this portion here? That
Hmm.
have you seen this
No,
portion?
I haven't seen. I heard you say I'm in the webinar section, but I haven't looked at it yet.
This is all so I got through the course And then
Hmm.
I got to the webinars, and it's all of these are like an hour and more long.
Oh man.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm done with the course and everything, and I got here, and it's all of these webinars. I don't think I necessarily have to do it to consider being done with the course, but I started
Good too.
watching them, and they're very they're very insightful and helpful.
Hmm.
Let me just see how many are in 2024. Oh, there's only three here. Okay, so that's good. These are Riley's. Um, so I just wanted to kind of go over this because I'm starting a new series here on YouTube where I'm just going over this course. And I pretty much just got into the meat. I might make a video myself um, about these videos here, but it's market structure, which we did today, identifying market structure and trend. And then we'll be coming back next to do support and resistance. Then there's trend lines, understanding candlesticks, identifying key levels, where to place your stop loss and take profit. What is risk? How do you calculate it? Where do you enter in a trade? What is confluence or confirmations? Um, Using demo to learn, entering into a trade, how to use Fibonacci. And that these are definitely like the meat and potatoes of trading and learning how to trade as a beginner. So I'm also going to share the link on my YouTube to this course, and it's free for everyone, for anyone who is looking to be to become a trader, or who has experience, might even be an intermediate trader and want to sharpen your game. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. We'll be doing different tips and things like that, doing homework together on this channel, and you're free to ask any questions. And I'm looking forward to grow with everyone here and to sharpen my trading skills, my eye as well. And I just look forward to the growth. So I'm going to stop the recording here.